Oil and water don't mix. They just can't. It's something we've all learned when we were younger. Based on this scientific principle is a routine called oil and water. There are so many variations on this effect, some gimmicked, some not. Today, I'm reviewing Erik Casey and John Michael Hinton's POW, or Perfect Oil and Water. It's a new release from Penguin Magic. It dropped and sold out completely at Magic Live 2023. So let's get into a quick performance of this effect. As you can see, I've got some cards. They're separated reds and blacks. However, the issue with this is I didn't color code them properly. So even though they're separated on this side, on the backs, they're actually interlaced, reds and blues. Which is sad, because if I wanted to snap my fingers and with a wave solve it on that side, then on this side they'd be interlaced. That's sad, because then if I solve this side, then unfortunately they're interlaced on this side. If only there was a way to snap my fingers and solve it not only on this side, but on this side too. And that is the Perfect Oil and Water. Before we begin, I hope you all enjoyed that performance, but I wanted to let all Magic distributors or creators know if you'd like me to review your product, please contact me at bfanmail@gmail.com. The email is in the description. I also do a free Magic monthly giveaway, and all you have to do to be eligible is subscribe to the channel. For this month, I'm giving away Royal Tea by Gordon Bean, and all you have to do to be eligible for that is comment down below Lucky Bean and subscribe to the channel, obviously. But that's all you have to do to be eligible. The winner will be drawn in early September, and without further ado, let's get right into the review. So what do you get when you purchase POW? You get a packet of specially gimmicked cards from penguinmagic.com. These cards appear as 6 cards and allow you to do routines taught in the tutorial. You will also receive a card which has the link to the almost half an hour tutorial download on the p3magic.com website. It's taught by Erik Casey and John Michael Hinton. But first, what is the quality of the gimmick? The cards are high quality, and they're similar to Erik Casey's previous release, or one of Erik Casey's previous releases. These cards should last you a very long time, but they will eventually wear out. And when they do wear out, you will have to purchase the trick again. They still will last many performances, however, and are likely replaceable by a material that most magicians have. The material that most magicians have isn't as effective as the one that Erik Casey used to make POW. However, I'm sure it would still work. The effect is really good, as most oil and waters often require some double lifts, strange looking dealing, or something like that. However, with this, the change happens instantly. You barely have to move a muscle. Now, how is the tutorial? As mentioned, the tutorial is almost 30 minutes. It's taught by Erik Casey mainly in the P3 Magic Studios. He teaches the handlings, one using a wine glass. The tutorial has live performances, and there are even some performances to the camera done by the famous Jackie Yu. The tutorial is really easy to hear. However, at some points, there is a blurry camera angle from above Erik Casey. It almost looks cartoonish. Another handling is taught by John Michael Hinton. The tutorial is very in-depth, and this effect is very easy to understand. What are the angles like with POW? The angles are absolutely perfect. You can be seen from 360 degrees. However, for my handling, you don't want to be seen from directly behind, but for all the other handlings taught, yes, you should be good. And even if you do want people behind you, you can, as long as you hold the cards close to yourself so you won't flash anything. Now, is this examinable? The cards are absolutely not examinable. But Erik talks about switching cards a little bit. The cards, though, cannot even be looked at for a second in your spectator's hands, or they will discover the secret. In fact, even when you're spreading the cards, there is a slight discrepancy for part of the trick, which I'm not going to go into, but I doubt that anyone would ever notice, most likely. Now, let's talk about the difficulty and practicality of this effect. How difficult is POW? It's not difficult at all, as long as you can spread cards out with one hand or do a fan with one hand. You can do this effect. It's very practical and a great packet trick, but you don't want to just store it in your case or a wallet or something like that. You'll want to put your gimmicks in a manila envelope or something like that to prevent abrasion from wearing these cards. For those who own this product, you likely know what I mean. Is there any DIY? No, there is no DIY whatsoever. However, if your cards do eventually wear out, you will need to replace the material or buy a new set. I'm not completely sure what material Erik uses for the cards, but I'm sure you could send him an email and find out. Pocket space. How much pocket space does this require? It's just a packet trick, so it only takes up the thickness of about 10 cards or so. Not too much pocket space is required, but you will want to store these again in a manila envelope rather than a card wallet. What is the reset like for POW? The reset's almost instant for the routines taught in the tutorial, and it is instant for the routine I performed earlier. Now, what do I think of the price of this? The price of POW is $25 US. Is this worth it? Absolutely. This is worth about $30 in my opinion, as it is so clean and no moves happen. This isn't your just average oil and water. This is much better. It's your perfect oil and water by Erik Casey and John Michael Hinton. Anyhow, what are the pros and cons with POW? The pros are there's no sneaky moves whatsoever and the magic happens instantly. Second, you don't need a full deck of cards to do this. You can just carry around the packet of cards. Third, you've got great angles. You can, as long as you're holding them close to your chest, you can be fully surrounded. You get good reactions. There's an instant reset. And this is a really powerful effect. The cons are that this isn't examinable and that this will not last forever. However, I still think the pros outweigh the cons. This is absolutely a great effect. But what percent do I give this? I'm going to give this effect 98%. It's a great icebreaker, and it's a really good version of the oil and water effect. It might be the cleanest oil and water ever, in my opinion, second to maybe Peanut Butter and Cheese by Josh Birch. But that's it for me. Make sure to enter that royalty giveaway. The draw happens in September. But I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope I'll see you guys soon.